You know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't realize that 40% of my collection were Scream Factory titles. What is up, you guys? Ryan Brewer back here, the host of Michael Myers Reacts, and recently I did a poll over on my Instagram page asking you guys if you wanted a complete Scream Factory collection video. Also, if you guys don't follow me on my Instagram page, please do so. It's at Michael Myers Reacts, all lowercase, all one word. Usually I do polls over there asking you guys like what type of videos you want to see, and honestly, I didn't realize I had this much Scream Factory titles, I guess, but you know, a lot of people's Scream Factory collections are way bigger than mine, but I do think I have a good bit here. I do think that 40% of my collection are Scream Factory titles, which is awesome. My Scream Factory collection will always be growing. But before we get into this collection video, if you guys are new to the channel and you're a horror fan or a Scream Factory fan, please hit that subscribe button because this is definitely the place for you. And I have a lot of things planned. Sometimes things go by really slow, but at some point I will have a video out to you guys. This one's really exciting because I just can't wait to show you guys this awesome stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into this. I want to show you guys my steelbooks from Scream Factory, and believe it or not, I only have 2 of them. So first up is John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. I love this movie. I haven't watched it in a while. It's actually one of my favorite steelbooks. I really love this steelbook. Also, I want to talk about, if you guys haven't noticed already, that this steelbook is in a protective sleeve. I have all my steelbooks in protective sleeves now, and I really like that. I mean, if you guys take care of your steelbooks and, you know, if you're really careful with them, you're not going to damage them or anything. But this protective sleeve ensures, like, the safety of your steelbook, and it just looks really nice in the protective sleeve. I'm sorry about the little glare there, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. I was going to do a video on these protective sleeves just because they're so awesome. You can get them in like 10 packs, 25 packs, whatever. But if you guys collect steelbooks, I do highly recommend these protective sleeves. And then my second steelbook from Scream Factory, The Slumber Party Massacre, a really good 80s slasher film. Russ Thorn is amazing. I believe it's Russ Thorn. This came out in 1982, I believe. Just look at these steelbooks. I mean, Scream Factory honestly kills it with the steelbooks. I just don't have a lot of them. I don't know why. I need to try to get some more. I know they had like the Pumpkinhead steelbook, and I'm not sure what else. I just don't keep up with their steelbooks. But the only reason why I got Big Trouble in Little China and The Slumber Party Massacre is for 2 reasons. I didn't have the movies, and I believe I got these steelbooks on sale at Best Buy. They were like 18 bucks a piece or something like that, and you can't beat that for a steelbook. So those are the only 2 steelbooks I have from Scream Factory. I do need to step up my steelbook Scream Factory collection, if you will. The next thing I'm going to show you guys, you've all seen these like 100 times, and that is the Halloween 4Ks. Here's the first Halloween, of course, with the reverse artwork. I reversed all of them, so you guys can imagine what they look like. Of course, here's Halloween 2. I love these artworks. I know people were complaining, but I love them. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, my favorite artwork out of the 5. And, of course, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And last but not least, well, maybe least to some people, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, I love all 5 of these. I mean, just look at this. Just look at those. I mean, they're so nice to look at on your shelf. I mean, they're just really good releases. I really have no complaints with these. I mean, the transfers look good. The bonus features are great. The artwork is great. The weakest is Halloween 5, but I still think the artwork on this is fine. But this is the kind of stuff as a collector and a Halloween fan that I'm looking for. These are very good releases. I'm sure most of you already have them or seen them multiple times. I'm actually lucky to have all 5 of them. I believe like Halloween 3 is like really hard to get your hands on, so I'm really lucky to have these and very happy to have these. And not only do I have the Halloween 4Ks, I also have the Halloween 10-disc Blu-ray set. This is the standard edition one. I do know that they had a deluxe edition with like the black Blu-ray cases. I missed out on that, unfortunately. I was lucky to even get this one because I believe this one is even hard to get your hands on. Like this one goes for like 130 plus, like on eBay and stuff. The deluxe box set goes for like 100 or more, but I missed out on that. But I got this luckily, and I still love this set. This is probably one of my favorite sets in my collection, and I was like, I'm not missing out on the Halloween 4Ks. I gotta get those, and I did, so I'm very thankful for that. But this set right here is a really nice set as well. I mean, I think all the movies look good on Blu-ray here. Obviously, the first 5, the Blu-rays in the first 5 Halloween 4Ks are going to look better than these Blu-rays because I believe they're even like 4K upscale transfers or whatever. On here, I don't think they are. I could be wrong, but they do look great in this box set as well. And that is all the Halloween stuff I have from Scream Factory. I'm sure they're going to do more releases of the Halloween films at some point. Let's hope that they don't do a Halloween 4K box set, because I just brought the first 5. If they do that, I'm honestly not going to buy it. I hope they release the rest of the films, by themselves, like 6, H2O, and so on. Enough of that. We're not here to talk about Halloween. Let's get into some more Scream Factory stuff I have, and for some reason, this is what I picked up first. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I believe I got this for Christmas a few years ago. And this thing used to be at like the Walmart bins for like $7.50, and that's not a bad deal for 2 movies. Say what you want about the Jeepers Creepers films. I do like the first 2 movies. The third one sucks. I know that they're making a new one, Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I'll probably check it out. But the movies look pretty good in this. If you can find this at your Walmart or online, I do recommend getting it. I think even this is hard to get your hands on. I could be wrong. I know there's 2 solo releases of these, like 1 and 2 separate, and those are really hard to get from Scream Factory. You still may be able to get this double feature here, but I recommend getting it because I really do think these movies look really good. Scream Factory always kills it with their transfers. Okay, this next movie is probably one of the scariest found footage movies ever made, and that's the Poughkeepsie tapes. Now, this doesn't have like a new transfer or anything because this is a modern day horror found footage film. It came out in 2008, I believe. The only thing that's really new on this one, well, it's not new now, it was new at the time that they released this, are like, there's new interviews and stuff like that. If you have not seen the Poughkeepsie tapes and you're a found footage fan, I don't know how you could call yourself a found footage fan, because this movie is very, very realistic. It feels so real. It's like a documentary style type found footage film. And I really love that. There's not a lot of found footage horror films like this, and I think that's why I love it so much, but I recommend this release. I mean, anything from Scream Factory, I pretty much recommend. I haven't seen a lot of videos of people like, oh, this is from Scream Factory, but I don't recommend it because it doesn't look good. I've never heard that. So pretty much everything that I'm going to show you guys in this video, I recommend. And up next is a couple of Wes Craven classics. First up is Shocker from 1989, I believe. This looks really good. I've only seen this movie one time on Blu-ray, like this transfer of the movie, but it looked really, really good. This is a very unique, like, slasher film. It's almost like a slasher supernatural type film. It's very, very unique. Horace Pinker is such a awesome character, and Wes Craven, of course, is such a genius when it comes to horror movies. I need to watch this one more. I couldn't necessarily review it for you guys, but I do recommend it because when I did watch it, I had a really, really good time with it. I need to watch it again. Just look at this original poster art. Like, that's just so cool. I really, really love that. But I do recommend Shocker. And up next is another Wes Craven movie I've only seen one time. Like, shame on me for real. And that's The Serpent and the Rainbow. This also looks really, really good from Scream Factory. I love the poster art here, the original poster art. This movie's really, really good. I do have to see it again. I know that this is about, like, voodoo stuff or something. I haven't seen this in a good... It's been a few months. I got this earlier this year, and I've only watched it once, which is pathetic, I know. So I definitely need to rewatch The Serpent and the Rainbow. And now we're getting into some John Carpenter goodness. First up is Body Bags. Now, not only did John Carpenter star in this, and I believe direct a couple of the stories, you also have Tobe Hooper directing one of the stories and a cameo from Wes Craven, and you even have Mark Hamill in this. Now, this is an amazing horror anthology film. If you have not watched Body Bags and you're a John Carpenter fan or even a Tobe Hooper fan, you're honestly missing out because this is such a good time. I believe there's 3 stories in this, but they are all great stories, and this is the release I would get for Body Bags. There's probably, like, I don't know what else they have for this. I know there's no 4K or anything for it yet, but this release right here is the way to go if you want to get Body Bags. And of course, I came here to chew bubblegum and kick booty. They Live, John Carpenter's They Live. I watched this again recently, and I like it even more. Like, every time I watch it, I like this movie even more. Because when I first watched it, it was good. I had a good time with it. I just didn't like the movie as much as some of his other movies, and this thing is just climbing up the list. I love They Live. Rowdy Piper in this is amazing. Just the whole story of They Live is amazing. The sunglasses thing, the fight in this movie, and this is John Carpenter honestly at his best. Obviously, I like some other films over this one, but this one is really climbing up on the list. I love They Live. I don't think there's a new transfer on this. It has audio commentary with director John Carpenter and actor Rowdy Piper. There's new interviews. Yeah, there's no new transfer, unfortunately. There is a 4K to this, though. I didn't get it, unfortunately, but this Blu-ray to me looks really, really good. I didn't really feel the need to upgrade it, and I already had it, so I was like, I really don't need to upgrade They Live. And speaking of 4K, there is one that I forgot to pull out from the shelf, and that is John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. This one I did get on 4K because I didn't own Prince of Darkness when this came out. I believe this came out in January of 2021 this year. And I gotta say, the 4Ks look amazing. The Halloween 4Ks, Prince of Darkness. I mean, Scream Factory is absolutely killing it with their 4Ks, and I couldn't pass this up. It was in store, and I was like, you know what? I don't have it. I need to just buy it. I think I paid $25 for this, maybe, and it came with the slipcover. I got it on, maybe it was $27. I don't remember, but I got it because I needed it. And, of course, Donald Pleasance is great in this. This movie, oh my gosh. I mean, John Carpenter in the 80s. This is 80s, right? Yeah, 87. Okay, I wanted to just make sure there. John Carpenter in the 80s was honestly just killing it. And now another John Carpenter movie from the 80s, and that is getting a 4K release from Scream Factory very soon, The Fog. Now, this Blu-ray looks really, really good. This was the second time I saw The Fog. I watched it on streaming the first time, and then I brought this Blu-ray, and it looks really, really good. I'm definitely going to be buying this one on 4K because I'm a really big fan of The Fog. It's honestly one of my favorite Carpenter films. I'm not sure if it would be in my top 5. Maybe at some point I'll do a John Carpenter ranking film for you guys, like ranking my favorite John Carpenter films. But I do recommend this Blu-ray, but if you are a fan of The Fog and you don't own the movie yet, I would hold off and get that 4K when it comes out, because I'm telling you, they are absolutely killing it with the 4Ks. I know it's going to look really, really good. Even though I own The Fog, I am going to double dip and get that 4K when it comes out, no doubt, because I just have to. And now on to my second favorite John Carpenter movie of all time, that is The Thing. This Blu-ray looks really, really good. It has a buttload of special features, if you guys can see that. This one did get a 4K release recently, not from Scream Factory. I do own that as well. I have the 4K Steelbook of The Thing. But I didn't want to get rid of this copy because of the special features, and it was honestly my first time owning The Thing on physical media, and I do think that this Blu-ray looks really, really good. Now, the 4K is an upgrade, so if you guys own this and you're like a big fan of The Thing, I do recommend getting the 4K. If you're just a casual fan of The Thing, this is a good enough release for you, but you really can't go wrong with this. And now a John Carpenter movie that is in my top 5, Escape from New York. Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken is amazing. Donald Pleasance as the president in this is amazing. This movie is obviously not a horror movie from John Carpenter, but it is an action movie from John Carpenter, and I'm telling you, he's not only a horror director. You know, John Carpenter is way more than Halloween and The Thing. He is just an amazing director. I mean, he can direct action, he could do horror. I feel like he could do anything. You know, he's a composer as well. And this is an example. This is almost like John Carpenter saying, hey, I could do more than horror. Watch this. Like, this is amazing. This was such a good movie. I just love this movie. I'm lost for words. And of course, if I have Escape from New York, I have to have Escape from LA. I was actually lucky enough to get this one with the slipcover. I ordered this one sometime this year because I really needed it. This one it's not hard to get, but it's never like cheap. Like, I believe Escape from New York I got for like under $20 at Walmart. This one always runs about $30. And I mean, it's worth it. It's a really, really good sequel. I think Escape from New York is better than Escape from LA, but this movie is a good sequel. I mean, Kurt Russell kills it once again as Snake Plissken, and it's just a really, really good movie. I'm glad I got the slipcover because I literally paid almost $30 just for this movie. And it's worth it. And this does have a new transfer. It has a 4K scan from the original camera negative, so it looks really, really good. They both look really good. I think maybe even Escape from New York has a 4K scan. No, this has a 2K scan and this has a 4K scan. So either way, they both look really, really good. They don't have 4Ks yet, at least not in the United States, and at least not yet from Scream Factory. If they get 4K releases, then I'll probably get it. Yeah. This is a Scream Factory title that I think pretty much every Scream Factory fan has or horror collector has, and that is Candyman from 1992. I really don't have a lot to say about this one. This is a amazing release for Candyman. It does have a 2K scan, I believe, or a 4K scan. I think it has a 4K scan. So this Blu-ray looks really, really good. And as you guys know, there isn't a 4K for the original Candyman yet. Even though the new Candyman is about to come out, they're still not releasing a 4K to this yet. But this is a very, very good release and a very cheap release. I believe this release is even at Best Buys right now for like $10. So if you guys want Candyman on Blu-ray and a Blu-ray that actually looks good, like the transfer is good, go check your Best Buy because I'm pretty sure this is in stores right now. I had this one for a while. I ordered it from Best Buy a long time ago and paid like $20 for it, and then literally like half a year later, they're like $10 now, and I'm like, oh, I should have just waited, but I am glad I have this. So if you guys want Candyman, check your local Best Buys. And if you got Candyman, you gotta have Candyman Farewell to the Flesh. This is my second favorite Candyman movie in the franchise. I do like the new movie. I have a whole stream talking about the new movie. I believe it's MMR Live number 15. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. I'll leave a link in the description down below. But I had to get this one as well. I was going to order this one off eBay, but it was like $30, and I ended up ordering it from Scream Factory's website and getting it for like under $20, I think. And again, it looks really, really good, and I believe this is the only Blu-ray release of the second Candyman movie. So if you want to own Candyman Farewell to the Flesh on Blu-ray, you have to get this Scream Factory release. This next movie I'm about to show you guys is honestly in my top 5 favorite 80s slasher movies, and that is My Bloody Valentine from 1981. The original. This is a very, very good release. It does have a new 2K scan, and I believe it also has, it has the uncut version of the movie, which is really, really good. A lot of the gore and kills were cut out of the original theatrical version of this movie, and this release gave us the uncut version, so we got to see that gore and those kills. And if you're a fan of this movie, you have to own this release of My Bloody Valentine. There's also a steelbook version of this. I hope this one gets a 4K at some point, but if it doesn't, I'll always be happy with this release. I mean, look at this artwork. It's just really, really nice. Obviously, it has the original artwork because I always flip them around. But this is, if you're a My Bloody Valentine fan, this is the release for you. And this next one, I believe, is also at Best Buys right now, and that is the original Black Christmas. Now, this is probably my favorite Christmas horror movie of all time. I do believe that this movie inspired Halloween. This has a 2K scan, so if you want to get this as well, again, check your local Best Buys because I believe this is under $20 right now. I paid like $25 for it, so again, sometimes it's best to wait and see like what happens, but sometimes with Scream Factory releases, you don't want to wait because if you do wait, you kind of miss out on things. But this one is at Best Buys right now, and I do recommend getting it because it's a good release of the movie, and it's got a 2K scan, so this is probably the best Black Christmas has ever looked. This movie right here is honestly one of my favorite remakes of all time, and that is The Blob from 1988. I haven't watched this movie in a while, but I've seen it, I think, a couple of times, and it's honestly one of my favorite remakes. I really do think this is a really, really good movie. Obviously, don't take the movie serious, because if you take it serious, you're probably not going to enjoy it. But The Blob is really, really good. The original one's really good as well. I believe it was like from the 30s or whatever. But this one right here has some really great gore. There's a few kills in this movie that make me go, whoa, like that was insane. And this release, of course, is great. I haven't really dove into the special features of this movie, and I really need to because I really love The Blob. And now we're on to a movie that did go off of the Scream hype and the Scream trend in the late 90s, and that is Urban Legend. But this one is really, really good. Urban Legend, I think, is honestly up there with Scream. I mean, let's say Scream didn't exist, and this came out in 98, this would have probably changed the face of horror, maybe. You have a lot of horror icons in this movie, like Brad Dourif and Robert Englund, and just, this movie is really good. There's a surprise twist at the end. I'm not going to say it in case you haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure most people have seen this movie. It's been out for over 20 years. But this one's a really good late 90s slasher movie. It's up there with Scream, in my opinion. I know some people will disagree, but it's a good movie, and I recommend getting it from Scream Factory. Now we're on to the last 3 things in my collection. I know this has been kind of a long video, at least I think it has. And the first box set I want to show you guys is the Critter Collection from Scream Factory. Now, this box set is extremely cheap. I think I paid like $30 for this box set, and you get 4 movies here. And the Critters movies are hit or miss, kind of. I like the first 2, and I like the 4th movie. The 3rd one's kind of weak, but it's still, it's pretty good. It has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. But this is probably one of the cheapest Scream Factory box sets you can get, and the movies look great, of course. And it's just a nice box set. They always make them like really sturdy. I mean, they always make these box sets really, really good. So, I mean, if you're looking to get a cheap Scream Factory box set, maybe check out the Critter series, because the Critter series is a good series, and this is a good first Scream Factory box set to own. And another box set that's very similar to the Critters box set is the Omen Collection Deluxe Edition. Now, I did not get this one when it was first released. I ended up getting this at Walmart for like $40, because when this first came out, I believe this was like $70, maybe $60, and it was kind of expensive to me. And then when I saw this at Walmart for $40, I was like, I'm gonna get it, because I really, really like the Omen franchise. I know I don't talk about the Omen franchise a lot here on the channel, but I really do enjoy this franchise. And this box set, I mean, just look at this artwork. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I just did not want to pass up on this. You get 5 movies in this one, so you get 1 more movie than what you get in the Critters box set. But again, the box is sturdy, and just, if you're a fan of the Omen franchise, get this box set. This is definitely the best way to own these movies. I believe the only way to have Omen for the Awakening on Blu-ray is to own this box set. So if you're a fan of that movie, which I doubt it because it's not great, but if you are a fan of that movie for some reason, you kind of have to get this box set if you want it on Blu-ray. And last but certainly not least is the big beast from Scream Factory that came out last year, and that is the Friday the 13th Complete Collection Deluxe Edition. I mean, look at the artwork on this box. I mean, this is some quality stuff here, people. And you know, it makes me mad because I paid full price for this box set, and now Best Buy has it on their website for like under $100, and you get every single Friday the 13th film. And of course, like a bonus material thing and a booklet. I mean, this set, it was worth the money, but if I would have known that it was going to go under $100 on Best Buy's website, I would have waited. But then again, I did get the posters and stuff with it, so I'm really happy with how I got it. But this might be the biggest set from Scream Factory. I could be wrong, but maybe the Halloween set's bigger. I don't know. I think this is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Friday set is, because the Friday franchise has more movies than the Halloween franchise. For now, of course. But yeah, this is probably my favorite set in my collection. I mean, I think this thing is just beautiful. I just wasn't going to pass this up. I had to get it, and it's just, it's so great. Alright, so that's my Scream Factory collection. That's everything that I own from Scream Factory at this time. Of course, the collection is going to grow. But again, if you're new to the channel and you're a horror fan or a Scream Factory fan, definitely hit that subscribe button. That would be much, 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 much appreciated. And I will see you guys very soon.